What is going on, everyone? We are here with another episode of the Spotlight series hosted by yours truly, ACK. You all know the drill at this point. We're up over 50, 60 episodes. We've just met so many super talented singer-songwriters from country music to pop music to rap, R&B, like all kinds of music. And it's just super, super cool to sit down and hear these artists' stories through music. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about them getting exposure, about me getting exposure, and just making these connections in the music business. So hearing their stories is just super, super cool and powerful. And today I welcome Elijah Kyle on. Elijah, how are you, man?
I appreciate you having me on, dude. Thank you for this, for real. I'm doing great, hanging in there.
Yeah,
And
no, of course. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. It just means a lot that people take time out of their days. I know obviously you're going through some stuff. We just talked about that before the interview popped on, but just always means a lot to really just share your story and just talk to you about music.
of course, man, and anytime I can help others or give people an insight behind more than the music, then I'm always down to do it. So
No, exactly. And obviously, you're a singer songwriter. You have a lot of cool music out. We're going to listen to your latest single, Glass Walls, at the end of this interview, which I'm super excited for people to hear.
thank you, man.
But kind of starting with the basic of basics is, where did music start for you? Because it doesn't matter whether you're at an early age or whether for me it was just 5 years ago. So how did the whole singing, songwriting, just where did
Yeah.
everything come about for you?
So growing up, my mom was in a band.
Okay.
So she's a wicked talented singer, way more talented singer than me. And I always watched her perform, and I grew up just around music because my whole entire life, whether it was my grandparents or my parents, I was always listening to music constantly. And I think it was about, I always used to like write here and there when I was super young, but it was never anything I took serious until I got to my junior year of high school. I had my good friend Colin, who's Shorty Beats. He produced a lot of my first like 4 albums. He hit me up one day after I posted a rap on Twitter just for shits and giggles with my friend. I was like, hey, let's post this Pound Cake remix by Drake. And it ended up going crazy on Twitter. So I started doing it. And then me and my friend just started making like, here and there, just recording a few songs. And like we had terrible equipment. He had a $5 microphone recording in the closet that I can't even stand in. And I'm 5'5". So that's how short the closet was. And it just started from there, and we just progressively kept growing and getting better, and then got better equipment, and just, dude, like, it turned into this. I never thought it would turn into something that I was gonna like have as a career, you know what I mean? But it's crazy, crazy how stuff happens like that.
No, exactly. It's just, I mean, I only started back in 2018. I was kind of telling you before the interview, that's when really a lot of stuff happened in my life. And that's when I started songwriting and I started producing. And like you, I only started with like a $5 mic, and I only like just started like writing words down. I didn't know how to write a song yet. And
Yeah,
just trying to figure all
no
that
idea.
out is just like
Yeah,
super, super cool. And it's just always really
it's a
interesting.
process.
Exactly. It's a whole process and it takes a lot of time. But at the end of the day, just hearing whether people start the day they come out of the womb or the like, unless they
Yeah,
start 5 years ago, it's always cool to hear
it
people's
was a super
upcoming.
gradual. It was like in the back of my mind. I always knew it was something I wanted to do,
Yeah.
but I just didn't think it was possible or how to, like, you know what I mean? It was one of those things that I always kept in the back of my mind. Every Friday I'd release new music would release, and I'd stay up listening to, and it was like I was studying music without knowing that I was studying music. You know what I mean? So everything kind of fell into place gradually.
No, exactly. And I mean, obviously, you probably listen to a lot of music. I know I listen to a lot of music. And kind of my second question I'm going to get into is inspirations, because I know for me, comes from a lot of country roots, because that's what was always playing in my house. And that's what is just my family is always like instilled in me, was that country music. But I listen to all kinds of music and I look up to all kinds of people in the music business. So when it comes to writing songs and stuff like that, who do you really look up to in the music business?
Dude, like, to answer like the first part of what you said, I fell in love with hip hop at a super early age. Not to be that every white rapper falls in love with Eminem when they're 5 years old, but on a serious note, like, I was lucky that my aunt, who was like, she's like on the younger side, and she kind of grew up. She was in that like DMX era and all of them. So I was super heavy into 90s hip hop and just early 2000s hip hop growing up. And that's what inspired me for my first like few albums. And you could tell it was super like NF Eminem
Yep.
like influence and stuff. But now my whole entire creative process has changed in who I listen to. I listen to a lot more singing stuff, or like pop punk, like Nothing Nowhere,
Mhm.
like the Black Bears, stuff like that. Of course, I love the J. Cole's and the Nas's and all the old school hip hop.
Yeah.
But I'm like, in the shortest like words, I'm all over the place. I love pretty much every type of music, and there's so many different people that I've studied in terms of music.
No,
depending
exactly.
on
And
what
I
I make. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. And I mean, that's how I am when it comes to writing. Like, I don't like, I just had an
Yeah,
interview the other day with John Rose, and we were talking about not boxing yourself in and just being
exactly.
able to have that opportunity to open so many other doors. Because for me, as
Not
just
only yeah,
no, and
not
go
only is
ahead.
it better for your career, not only is it better if you're an artist to have different avenues of genres that you can touch into, but it's just better in general when you're creating. You know what I mean? I would hate to just make the same thing over and over again. If you actually love music and you're in it for the music, you know what I mean? To be able to be diverse and always like, you know what I mean? I'm not feeling like rapping today. I'm gonna sing today, or I want to make an acoustic song, or you know what I mean? It's just dope. It's dope to have that avenue to just,
No,
you know what I mean?
exactly. And a lot of people, when they start in music, is they just think like, oh, I'm just a country artist. That's all I can do. Or, oh, I just rap. That's all I can do. Like, they don't think
Yeah,
about all these other opportunities and all these other doors that they can try to open.
yeah. And people are like subconscious, they get scared to touch into other genres and go for that. You just got to go for it, man. The
No,
only way to
exactly.
get better is to just take chances and take risks.
Exactly. And I'm a big hockey guy, and a lot of people know that. And I always live by the quote is you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Facts,
So
dude. And I've missed about 180 shots, but I've made a few. So it's like, you know what I mean?
no, exactly. And I mean, that's all that matters at the end of the day, because like I said, like with songwriting, like I'm all over the place. Like I could write a country song one day, I could write a pop song the next day, and just the creative process is just a really cool thing. And obviously I was listening to Glass Walls earlier, I was listening to some of your early stuff. Like I've been listening to all kinds of things by you, just getting ready for the interview.
Thank you,
And
man.
no, of course. And I have to shout him out on every episode before I ask the question, just because he came up with one of the best quotes that I've heard just for this question. So it's incorporated into the question now. Is Garrett Walker, shout out to him, is he said the creative process is like a puzzle, whether you have 500 to 1,000 pieces. You have them all scattered all over. You're trying to figure out which piece goes where. You slowly put the border together. You slowly put in the middle together and just fitting those pieces where they belong. And by the
Mm-hmm.
end, you have that whole picture, you have that whole masterpiece that you can put out, you can share with people. And just the creative processes, that's how it is when it comes to writing a song or producing a song, just like getting everything together. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's just always unique to ask this question because it's different for so many people. So what is your creative process like when it comes to creating music?
It's crazy. I've said like the past 5 years I've been creating music consistently. It's changed so many different times, dude. Like it when I first started making music, it would totally be like just sit by yourself in the corner, like write music, you know what I mean? And now I'm at the point in my life where I pretty much go into the studio, we pull up the beat, and I'm like, I punch in and just keep doing everything on the fly. Like I stopped overthinking art, and that was like one of the biggest issues I had at first. And that's how I'm able to write so much. It's not even like, oh, you're compromising quality or anything like that. It's just for me, I just write how I feel. Like I let life inspire me. I take it all in, and whatever I'm feeling, I just go in. It's to me personally, it's a lot easier to go in and make like singing music and stuff like that because it's like rapping sometimes it's on your mental, you know what I mean? Keeping up
Right.
that lyricism and the degree I hold myself to, it's draining.
Yeah.
But singing is a lot more vibes and you just go in and I can just get the melody and freestyle and just and take it like that. But I think every song calls for a different creative process for me.
Mhm.
If it's a super deep emotional song, it's not something I'm probably gonna freestyle at the studio or do. It's more
Yeah.
so I would like really sit down and truly like all right, I'm getting this done
Yeah.
right now. But for me, one of my main processes is, which probably isn't what most people say. Most people like I feel like to go back and finish songs like 10 months from now, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Me, I'm like, nah, like I'm getting this song done today. Like I will not stop. Like Writer's Block will not beat me. This is about to be my bitch. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can swear on this, but I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good. You're good. Hey, I
But
run this show. I'm the owner, so whatever we gotta say is whatever we gotta say.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of crazy when it comes to the process.
Yeah. No, but I
I'm all over
mean,
the place.
no, but
I'm an
that's
art. We're artists, man. Like,
no, and that's cool, man, because I mean, like for me, like I'll admit it, like I'll write songs and I'll go back to them months later, like I'll neglect them. And it's just cool that like you just tell yourself, it's like, no, I'm not gonna neglect this. This isn't going to
yeah,
the shelf for 4 months. Like I'm doing it
yeah.
now. And that's
I'm an
just
in the moment type of person, and I'm very like it hits. If it hits me, it hits me. You know what I mean? If it doesn't, I probably
no,
wouldn't use that
exactly.
beat or.
No, and I
But
feel like that kind of is going to tie into the next question I'm going to ask. And it's actually kind of shocking because normally I tell people about this question before the interview, but you just said, no, don't even tell me. I'm just going to
screw it,
wing it
man.
and see what happens. Because I told them it's a tough question that I ask. And
Man's got me scared now.
So with TikTok and Instagram and just all these social media platforms out there, there's so many up and coming artists out there. It doesn't matter if you're in rap, pop,
Yeah.
R&B, country. Like there's hundreds and hundreds of artists trying to make a name for themselves. So at the end of the day, my question is just what can we take away that you have that other artists don't have? So what makes Elijah Kyle?
At the end of the day, to give you the most simplest answer, I think it's my diversity in music. How I truly am myself. You know what I mean? I try to make even just the family that I've been able to grow over time. I've been able to grow my fan base and more so a diehard fan base from my size because I truly am myself. I like to think of my music, I'm letting you literally into my lives, and I'm hoping that I'm able to change as many lives as I can. And I like to show people that we're not alone. And so many of us struggle with the same issues and deal with the same problems. And I think just being my authentic self, I don't like to rely on any gimmicks or a fake image, or I'm just like, you either love me for me, you take it or leave it. I literally put my everything into music. Like, I feel like some people say that, but like, if you listen to my music, I feel like you guys know that it truly is like my outlet, and I hope that it helps other people in the process. I don't know
No,
if I answered your question fully. I hope
no,
I did, but basically I'm just me, man. Like,
no, and that's awesome because I honestly I can't even remember. I've done over 60 episodes now, and I can't remember the last time I actually used this word is instant identity. You know who you are, you know what you want to do, you know you're trying to
and
connect with the fans, and
yeah, that's
that's
something
just
I've always known for like a long time. I feel like, of course, I struggle with a lot of stuff like that, anxiety and depression, like a lot of
right.
artists do, and people in general. But one thing I've always been is like I'm confident in myself and who I am and what I stand for. And I'm
Exactly.
very much like, you can't walk over me. I have my opinions, and I am who I am, and I don't hide from that. You know what I mean? I'm always gonna be a Star Wars nerd
Yep.
who will still out rap any person who comes to step to the plate at the same time. So it don't matter to me, man.
No, and that's awesome because I was talking. I already showed him out earlier, but John Rose, we were having this conversation during our interview a couple days ago, and it's crazy because at the end of the day, that's just like what you want to do and what he wants to do and what I want to do is just to
Yeah,
really touch other people and connect with those people. Because if I can write a
exactly.
song that's gonna help someone down the road or like connect with someone, then that's positive for me, and that just completes everything.
And also, to answer your question, it's kind of ironic that I'm saying this, but I feel like another thing, I guess, that I want to be remembered for that separates me from other artists is the fact that I don't want to just be remembered for music. Besides from the music, I said in my last album, if music is the only thing that I'm remembered for, my time here is up on this earth, then I've truly failed.
Yeah.
I want, just creatively, I want to explore so many different avenues, whether it's like movies, I want to direct, like
Yeah.
so many different aspects of life that I feel like we're not just artists. Just like we talked about diversity in the music, just bringing in so many different avenues and different ways to connect to help people in our reality. And I
No,
hope the music speaks for itself. That's what I hope too.
exactly. No, and that kind of goes into our next question is like what your goals are as an artist or just as a musician, like wherever you want to go with your music and just what else can we expect down the road from you? Because
Yeah,
obviously you just have that new single Glass Walls that just came out not too long
yeah,
ago.
man.
So what
So
else can we expect from you?
this is like the first time I've ever taken a break. See, I'm not taking a break making music. I was in the studio yesterday and we banged out 3 songs, but dropping, I've built that foundation and that catalog. And now I'm kind of not even just to be with my family right now. I'm just kind of just, I'm really thinking about my next moves and how I can bring everything to the next level visually and everything else. I'm sitting on all my best music, and I've have a few collab albums in the process, and I have a lot of big collabs with big artists that are going to boost numbers this year. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, videos and just short films that I'm working on that are going to drop this year. Dude, there's a lot, man. Like, I just think I want to give the fans a little bit of time to get ready because it's about to get crazy.
No, absolutely. And like I said, man, I'm definitely a huge fan of yours. I love all the music that you have out now, whether it's old or
Thank you
current.
for real.
And no, of course. And
It's hard sitting on all the music I've been sitting on because I sound like a different human, man. Like, I'm just ready for people to see the evolution. And I was talking to my buddy the other day. I'm like, I kind of want to delete older stuff, but I'm like, nah, like, even if I don't like any of my older music, like, it is what it is. It's dope to look back and see the process and how far
exactly. No,
you've come. You know what I mean?
exactly. No, it just looks how far you've come and just stuff like that. Because I know I've been working on a couple of old songs. I have one out called Lonely. Shout out to Alexa Mashka. We
Hell
produced
yeah.
and we did that together. But I just kind of started working it and like reimagining it is what it's going to be
Yeah.
called. So it's crazy because I was like, do I like get rid of that and like just
Yeah,
pump out
I
the
was
new
thinking about
version? Or
I was thinking about going back and doing like remixes to songs that I thought were really good that could have been like better engineered and I can sing better now. So like Memories, and there's a few other songs that pop into my head that I might go back and do like maybe like a little EP of remastered,
yeah, no, exactly.
revised
I mean,
songs.
no, and like I said, I'm definitely on the ride with you. I can't wait to see what else comes. And
Thank you, man, for real.
no, of course. And that kind of concludes all the questions I had for today. So obviously getting into the good part is hearing a song from you, which is Glass Walls, what we're going to take a listen to. So kind of before I play a little bit of that, if you want to let the people know just kind of how this song came about, just before we take a listen.
Yeah, so in all reality, like we've all been through heartbreak in terms of relationships, but I wrote, even though this song, the chorus seems more about a girl type relationship, I just wrote that to connect with more people. But it's really just about, like the chorus says, throwing stones at your glass house, like people taking advantage of you when you're most vulnerable,
Yeah.
and just really overcoming that, overcoming your past and the pain that we've gone through, because you have to keep pushing in life. That's what it means to me. Is that people like to bring you down when you're most vulnerable, and you have to appreciate the people that are truly there for you when you're at your lowest. That's what Glass Walls means to me.
No, that's awesome. And like I said, people, Glass Walls out everywhere. Elijah Kyle, out on all streaming platforms. So let's take a quick little listen, and don't yell at me. I'm only gonna play a little bit of it because y'all know the drill is only play a little bit of it. So you go listen
Yeah,
to the full thing.
he's probably gonna stop it right before the build up happens. So just know it does build up
Yeah.
past an acoustic song.
No, exactly. So let's take a quick listen to Glass Walls.
This doesn't sit right inside my chest. Now that I know you're gone, you told me never write a song about you. Hope that you play this song to me, and every line hurts you like I feel. Cause baby girl, you did me wrong. You can build a mountain from these rocks. They threw around my glass walls, glass walls, glass walls, glass walls, glass walls. Glass walls, glass walls, glass walls, glass walls. This doesn't sit right inside my chest. It's always gonna be my fault. You can tell your friends what's made of glass. Comments coming back, I know. Trusted, misleading, secrets for no reasons. Barely even breathing. My heart is still bleeding.
So that's a little bit of Glass Walls. I'm gonna cut it off there because I want people to go check that full song
Thank you,
out.
man, for real.
Nah, of course. I mean, super, super talented dude. Like I said, I'm a huge fan, and I just appreciate you taking the time out of your day because I know you've been busy doing some stuff,
Likewise,
and
man. I appreciate
just
you too.
means a lot because at the end of the day, in the music industry, just to make these connections and open new doors, you never know what's going to happen with this. I
Of
mean,
course.
I've met so many artists, and now I collab with a lot of these different artists, and I produce for them and stuff like that. So it's really crazy just to do all this, and it just means a lot. So thank you for taking time out of your day to do this.
Anytime, my friend. This won't be the last time. This
No,
is dope. I
absolutely. No,
appreciate you
you'll
doing this.
we'll see each other again at some point. I know that.
Hell yeah.
Before I do my little outro for my fans, where can we find you on social medias?
Every single social media is at Elijah Kyle Music. Every single one you could possibly think of.
Perfect. No,
Even
that's
Twitch. So like as simple as that. I used to have like different ads, but nope, everything's
yeah.
Elijah Kyle Music.
Nope, that's simple enough, plain and straightforward, and that's what we like to
Yep.
see. So kind of without further ado, that's all we have for today. Again, Elijah, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Of course,
And
man. Shout out to you and the fans and everyone supporting. We appreciate you.
no, exactly. And y'all know the drill is every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. We got a new episode, new artist, new story through music. So I'll see you all next week, and thanks for tuning in.